We are live. Hello, 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 everyone. It is Friday and we are back in the saddle. Took a couple weeks off there for the holidays. And I don't know about you, but I anticipate this every January. It just feels like, uh, 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 to get started again, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I don't care, if you took a long weekend off or 2 weeks off for the holidays, it always feels like it's climbing mountains to get that momentum back, doesn't it? Well, I'm here today. I think we got some great ideas. I'm going to brainstorm with you a little bit. Let me just give you a little bit of background on what we're doing today. In another larger group of real estate agents, there was a question that was asked. It was a great post, and it said, agents that made over $250,000 or more this year, what advice would you give other agents? And of course, there was about 413 comments on that post. And I kind of scanned through and extrapolated really the best ideas. There's a lot of repeat ideas, of course, and then there's a lot of sarcastic ideas, of course, as well. So I kind of extrapolated what I could out of there, and I could have obviously kept going, but I picked out my top 10 that I thought would be great to talk about today, that will get your blood flowing, get your creative juices flowing, right? To get something up and running quicker rather than later, okay? Because the more you laxy-daisy right now, the harder it's going to be for you to have a great spring season, okay? It's all about the spring season. As you know, I harp about that often, right? Your money is made in the spring season. That's when you've really got to pull things together, make it happen, because I don't know if you haven't experienced that summer lull, by now, hopefully you've looked at your transactions that you've closed last year. We're doing this with one of my coaching students this week. We went back and we looked at the transaction flow for her business this past year, and she could see where her low months were and her high months were, right? So by doing that and having a clear picture of the flow of your business, of course, provided that you worked all year, right? And didn't get derailed doing something else, right? She's a full-time agent, and she actually manages two brokerages, okay? So when we clearly laid out her path and her rhythm in her market, she could see where her dips were and where her high points were. Now, from the dips, you want to back up a little bit, 6 to 8 weeks, and make sure that your activity in those periods were still consistent, okay? So those are some things to keep in mind. I'm just babbling a little bit while we get a few people to join us, and then we're going to start. I've got 10 ideas from this post, right, that I thought were worthy of conversation today. And then I'm very excited about something that I'm inspired to do. I'm going to write a book this year, okay? 101 Ways to Make Money in Real Estate. I have said that for years. I think I've coined that phrase. Don't quote me on that. But that's going to be the name of my book. And I think I'm going to, I felt like I would maybe lay out two techniques a week. That would be about 101, a little bit more for give me a buffer for a week off, or if I miss something, right? But 101 ways to make money in real estate. So I'm going to do that. That's my inspiration this year. That will be the theme of all of our Friday live trainings. 2 things I'm going to discuss that I'm going to put in my book. And let's see if I can't do this, all right? Okay, so here we go. I'm going to get started here. One of the first worthy comments that I pulled out of this post, how to make $250,000 a year in real estate, is find a niche. Find a niche and focus on that, right? I think it's an overlooked strategy. I think because agents come into the business thinking that they have to be all things to all people, and you don't. Okay? You just don't. All right? Find a niche and focus on what works for you. Understand what your market provides for you, right? And then tailor to that clientele. Okay? So what am I saying? For example, if you're on the coast and your market provides oceanfront condos, tailor to that. Okay? If you're in the Midwest and your market provides ranches, tailor to that. If you're in California, you've got a whole different thing, right, going on over there, don't you? But you see what I'm saying, right? Find a niche and tailor your marketing to that. You can't be all things to all people, okay? Stop trying to be all things to all people, okay? Find what sells, especially going into a recession. Determine in your market who has to sell, okay? Who has to sell in your market? All right, number 2, worthy comment, how to make $250,000 or more a year in real estate is to work your sphere of influence. Stay in contact with your past clients and follow up with your prospects. This is honestly, I think, probably the biggest area where newer agents especially will kind of falter a little bit, all right? Not understanding the total follow-up concept. And what you got to do, I think, in your business is you have to design your follow-up so that it can be consistent for years to come. Okay? Years to come. That's why I don't do drip email campaigns. Okay? Because the drip is going to run out, right? Eventually your drip is going to run out, right? And you spend so much time trying to categorize and sort your CRM between buyers and sellers and deliver in the right amount of content. Just develop a strategy that connects with your people on a personal level, okay? Then you don't have to worry about all that other gobbledygook, okay? I'm telling you. And that way, your content and your touch points are more evergreen, right? Evergreen. Think in terms of evergreen touch points, okay? All right, that's all I'm going to say about that. All right, the next worthy comment in this post, how to make $250,000 a year, is to be intentional in all areas of your business and seek to build relationships with your clients before and after the deal. And that's an important one. It really is, because I'm telling you, that's really, agents will close a transaction and they'll never follow up with that prospect again. Or chances are they'll be out of the business in less than 5 years. That's always been my theory, especially when I'm rolling on 22 years here. I've seen a lot come and go. All right. So be intentional with the way you develop relationships, and don't be afraid. For example, I'm going to put this one out there for you. Here's an idea. If you're in this business for the long haul, if you have a listing that you have sold and you may not have represented that buyer, that's okay. Certainly don't infringe upon that relationship prior to closing, but after closing, absolutely, that new homeowner can be put into your systems. If you have soft touch point systems for homeowners, like send out cards, I use a program called Continuity Programs. It's a 5-year touch point. And there's a 5-year touch point for $49 for new homeowners. You can be in touch with those people for 5 years, not even with any effort. Oops, half my lights just went out. So I hope that's not too dark. Okay, all right. So think in terms of long term, all right? If your buyer buys a home, that's not the last time you're going to talk to them. They become homeowners, right? Switch them up. Now they're homeowners. You need to be able to maintain that relationship for 5, 10, 15 years. Hopefully you become friends with them. You know what I mean? That's the easiest way to do it, right? Okay, next worthy comment from the $250,000 a year post is save your money so you can stay in the game and consistency, okay? Do what you love for lead generation and be consistent about it. And that was great advice. That was definitely great advice, right? Save your money for the long game, because let me tell you what, you're going to get pulled in so many directions in this business if you haven't already noticed. You've got a shiny object constantly dangling in front of you. Bigger, better technology, all the bells and whistles. Well, let me tell you what, 9 out of 10 times, agents don't have the time to learn or even utilize or capitalize on all the bells and whistles that technology can put in front of there. Don't be afraid to look at something more simple. I mean, simple works, simple serves its purpose, and it allows you to manage your technology, on a more personal level, right? I'm telling you, find the tool that you're comfortable with, that you'll obviously marry. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be just completely comfortable with your tools and use them, right? And shop around if you're not. Okay? All right, here we go. Moving on. The next comment worthy of making $250,000 a year. This is no joke, right? No joke. You need to have a tax strategy in place, because let me tell you what, if you haven't made 250 before, you're in a whole different tax bracket, and you need to be on top of your money. People who are successful, they are focused on their money. And if you have a problem with being focused on money, you're never going to make $250,000 a year. There you go. I'm just going to say it. That's the reality of the situation. Now, I hear everybody, I hear some people saying, oh, the love of the money is the root of all evil. All right? You don't need to go there. You don't need to go there to be focused on money. So put that on the shelf. Try it for 1 year, okay? Put that thought on the shelf and focus on money this year. Focus on attracting money to you. You can't attract money to you unless you are joyous about money, unless you are happy and you have great feelings about money. Money's never going to come your way if you don't understand it and focus on it, okay? So a tax strategy is absolutely something that you need to put in place. Just, look for ways that you can capitalize on putting your money to good use for your business and create a legitimate tax deduction, okay? If you got kids, for example, if you've got kids, as soon as my kids could push a broom in my office, they had a job. As soon as my kids could stuff envelopes for a direct mail campaign, they had an after-school job. As soon as they learned how to file alphabetically, we've been around this business 22 years, so I understand that some of these things are probably outdated tasks, but today they're electronic, and today kids are more electronically advanced. So they can absolutely jump on and take care of your social media. They can take care of a lot of things if you'll give them the time and energy to teach them the task. They're smart, I promise you, and you can pay them. And when you pay your children for a job done legitimately, they get to spend that money on their own clothes, right? Think smarter, not harder. Definitely focus in on some tax strategies and some things that you can offset some of that income. Okay. Next worthy comment of the $250,000 income comment is to time block and get out in your town, network, join a lot of local groups, meet people, serve on planning commission in your city, right? In your area, and know what's going on. When we were in building mode for our business, we were very involved in our community. Okay. We're very involved with our board of realtors, and that is absolutely a way to get connected, is to definitely jump in there, volunteer, join a new club, I don't know, a chamber of commerce. We were very involved with chamber of commerce, business women, professionals. Organizations like that are great for your exposure, so absolutely, that is definitely something you might want to consider doing this year if you haven't before in the past. Okay. A lot of this done is the purpose of this. Don't miss the boat. The purpose of this is to building a network. And when you're exchanging business cards, if they still do that these days, or tap on their phone and give you their exchange, don't forget to build your email list, because that's really what the heart and soul of your business is your email list. So when you are networking with mayors and commissioners and, anyone out there in your community, get them on your email list and connect with them on a more personal level. Okay. All right. Next one is to build multiple pillars, lead pillars. Absolutely. Don't miss this boat. You can't depend on just one source of leads. You can't sit there and, anybody that's top producing is not sitting there waiting for their broker to hand them a lead. Okay. They're just not. They're out there in their own network, moving, shaking the trees, constantly working their lead sources. The purpose of lead sources, of course, is to feed that funnel. You want everything coming into one funnel. Of course, your CRM. If you've got a fine-tuned machine, it's like a Rolodex. You know what I mean? You're flip, 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 like an old Rolodex. Used to be a saying back in the day, right? The one with the big Rolodex, the biggest Rolodex wins. Now I'm really dating myself, right? But it's all about your email list and your CRM. And I'm not talking about these CRMs that just are so automated that they're just harvesting and dumping data in there for you, right? They're just, I don't know what, they're throwing lead clickbait into your CRMs. I'm not going to mention any names, but that's what I've seen, right? Too much automation is not always good. Make sure that you have a solid strategy for the leads that you are working and developing and receiving. My solid strategy is driving traffic to my website through Facebook groups, through targeted ads, right? Very specific. When I drive traffic to my website, for example, and I capture a lead with my website and my marketing, those people are there because they want to be there. They're not there because they saw your Facebook ad and they saw something in the picture that they wanted to focus on, and they click on the picture and it's one of those lead form ads, and it automatically populates. All they wanted to do is blow up your image, and now all of a sudden they're sucked in. They didn't even give you their information, and you try and reach out to them and they have no idea who you are. That's what those lead form ads develop a lot of the times, not all the time. Of course, some of them work, but I feel like a large percentage of those prospects are, I just know that. I feel like that because that's what happens to me 9 out of 10 times when I personally click on one of those ads. And then all of a sudden I'm getting email bombarded by content I really wasn't looking for. You know what I'm saying? When I drive traffic to my website, those people have voluntarily given me their information because they want to be there. That is a more solid lead. All right. And when you learn how to do that, you don't have to spend money on Zillow or anything like that. You're developing your own leads by attracting customers that want to do business with you. Okay. There's a huge difference there. But have multiple lead pillars. That's the key, right? All right. Next one up. Make videos, post on social media, and don't be afraid to call people and ask for business. Basic stuff, feels like, right? You know, you can make videos and post on social media if you're comfortable with that. I just do that. I don't do that a lot. I'll be honest with you. I will go live in my own groups, because I've got a group specifically for my registered applicants on my website. So this is my, that would be my hub of people that I would go in live and talk to. But I don't make reels, and I don't make TikTok videos. I don't want you to feel like you have to do that. And if you do that, understand the strategy for doing that and why you're doing that. You're doing that to create a social media audience, yes, but you don't own that social media audience. So unless you've got mechanisms to flip that audience and create a lead, right, where they give you their name, their email, and their phone number, where you are building an email list from that audience, that's where the juice is. All right. It's not going to serve you to have, 30,000 followers that is nothing but raw data, unless you've got the mechanisms in place to capture leads. Okay. That's what it all needs to be about. Okay. So find your groove. Find your groove and make sure that everything you do has a link to your website, has a link to your lead magnet, something that you're giving away. You know what I'm saying? Or, I use my IDX website. I drive traffic to lists of homes available for sale, and they're not even my listings. All right. Okay. So get creative. Okay. But if you're going to do videos, don't be boring. Real estate is boring, okay? Nobody wants to really follow or plug into that. It's boring, okay? So if you're going to do videos like that, do you, okay? Don't do anything about real estate. Do you. Go out to a restaurant, go to a park. Do you. Go in your house, one of your listings. That's fine. But make sure it's got your personality in there. Make sure you're the face of who's talking in that video. Don't sit there and try to educate people. All right? Real estate educational videos are boring. They just are. All right? All right, here we go. Talk about real estate to everyone you encounter. Don't be afraid to ask for business or put processes in place to keep your phone ringing. Okay? You can take that all kinds of different directions there, right? I'm an introvert. I'll be honest with you right now. There's no way that I'm going to talk to everyone around me about real estate. I am not that type of person that is standing in line at the grocery store and turns around and starts a conversation with the lady behind me. That's just not me. Okay. So if you feel that way, it's okay. It's okay. Right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to be like that. But if you have a sanguine personality, right? You know who you are. If you have a sanguine personality and chit-chatting is just your forte, then you need to capitalize on that, right? You need to capitalize on that. And you have fun with that, okay? But, you can absolutely put processes in place that make your phone ring. Like I said, I always let my targeted Facebook ads do the heavy lifting for me. Okay. I just do. If you're an introvert, maybe that's something that you need to learn so that you don't feel uncomfortable out there trying to have conversations with everyone. Okay? If you learn how to drive traffic to your website for lead capture, you don't have to do any of that kind of stuff. Okay? All right. Last but not least, for the $250,000 question, is consistency is key. And isn't that the truth? I mean, isn't that the truth? Consistency is key. Okay? You can't start a project, start a marketing project, and expect that it's going to take off for you immediately. It just doesn't work that way. Even when I'm teaching, I teach you how to develop Facebook groups and group growth. But I've been working my Facebook groups for 7 years now. You can't expect to just create a Facebook group and have 7,000 people jump in it in 30 days. It's just not realistic, and anybody who's telling you that happens is paying for that stuff, okay? But you have to start those seeds somewhere, and you have to be consistent. And when you lay that platform down and you have consistency in what you're doing, you're going to look up one day and you're going to say, hey, I got 1,000 people in this group. You know what I mean? When you get your first 1,000 people, you can have 20,000 people in a Facebook group. All right? Especially if you're developing it with a strategy. You're developing a community tool that's open for everyone to come in and post. That's open for other realtors to come and post their listings. That builds credibility into your housing group. Okay? Trust me, you've got mechanisms in place. And if you want to jump on that, you can absolutely control all of that. It's your group, right? But those are some things I want you to think about that you can put in place that you can be consistent with. My email list. I have been communicating with my email list for over a decade on a personal level, the way I teach it. Okay? When you get yours up and running, it's going to take some time to build momentum, right? With your communication on a personal level with your email list. They're not used to getting that from you. They never got it from you before. What are they looking at? They don't know yet, right? Until it's consistent and it's there every week, like clockwork, right? And you've got a hook. Your email needs a hook just like everything else does. All right. So these are some things that you can do consistently in your business. Okay. All right. So let's see what we got here. I'm coming over here to the comments. That's definitely buy. The book. Yes. That's it. I'm going to write a book this year. That's my inspiration, or at least I'm going to lay out the skeleton and the content for it this year. Let's put it that way. Every week, every Friday, I'm going to deliver two ways to make money in real estate. There's 101 ways. I got most of it laid out, so I think I'm in pretty good shape. And I'm going to give you some nuggets each week, and that's going to be the framework for the business, for the book, okay? And your business, absolutely. Now, 101 ways, you cannot possibly implement all of them. Don't get yourself over, there'll be some things you're not going to be interested in implementing, but it's do what you're comfortable with. That's all you need to do, right? Okay, you're on board for the first two. Okay. Still not comfortable with the videos. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've been coming on live now for a lot of years, doing this now for 3 or 4 years now, right? But the first year I did this, I couldn't put my face in front. I couldn't go live on video. It was difficult. And let me give you a hint. Go ahead and create a Facebook group. Don't invite anybody in it but yourself. Go in there and practice, okay? Practice for yourself. Rewatch your own replays. Critique yourself. Let me tell you, After you do it for about 30 days, you'll be comfortable. But I'll tell you a funny story. The first course, digital course that I developed, I didn't have enough confidence to put together anything to teach a realtor, even though I had trained close to 100 agents through my own brokerage, right? I just wasn't confident enough to put it on video. So I chickened out and I settled for less when I created my first digital course. And I thought, well, I have a lending background. I have a 15-year mortgage lending background, and I love first-time home buyers. So I'm just going to develop a first-time home buyer course, right? So we spent weeks developing this first-time home buyer course. And then it came time to videotape it. And I'm sitting in front of my desk, and you can't see it, but I had my hands, of course, were on the desk. And we videotaped the whole thing in one day, all the chapters. And when I watched the replay, I noticed that one of my fingernails was broken in the video. And of course, I had red fingernails and fake fingernails at the time. I don't have them anymore. But that's all I could see, and that's all I could focus on. And I scrapped the whole thing. I scrapped all the video, and I only allowed them to put my audio, my voice up there in the course. So I was so mortified. So don't worry about it anymore. Today I go live, and it don't matter. People like to see the real you. Okay, they're going to want to see the real you. So don't be afraid to go video. Okay, just and like I said, real estate. Don't get out there and try to be real estate. Don't get on on your live and just show them a little bit about your family. Show them I don't know what you like to do. If you like to cook, if you like to, your hobbies, get them hooked on you. Okay. You don't need to produce video education, real estate education. It's just, okay. All right. What do we got here? I'm so sorry. Creating a private group. Yes. Yeah. Where it's just you. That's what I still have that today. Mine's called the cocktail party. That's the name of my group. It's called the cocktail party, and it just has me and my husband and my son in it, because and I'll dump content in there if I want to share something, but I don't want to share it to, my news feed. I want to keep it in one place. I'll just dump it in that group. I can share it and dump it into that group where only I can see it, and I know where it is. I can go back and find it pretty easily. But that's, when the pandemic first hit in 2020, we had a lot of fun in that cocktail group, meeting with family and friends from all across the country. I don't know why all of a sudden we felt like we needed to connect with each other when we never connected with each other otherwise, except physically once a year at a family reunion or something. But you know what I mean? It was a lot of fun going on and having lives with family and friends privately. Okay. So there you go. That's an idea. Okay. All right. Oh, thank you. There we go. All right, good. Any other questions? Any other suggestions or ideas? Go ahead and dump them in the comments there if you want. And that was a pretty good post. And like I said, there's 400 comments on there, but of course you have to scroll through the muck to find the real good stuff. But I think I pulled out some good pointers to think about this year. And follow me every Friday at 11. I'm going to give you 2 pointers to build your business and make money in real estate each Friday. Okay. All right. Now, before you leave, I don't, if you have any interest in property management, our property management workshop will start on Monday. That's going to be a 4-day workshop, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 p.m. Once a day. I'm going to teach in a private group. You've got a digital course. You'll get all of the replays and PDFs and all that good stuff. But we're going to dive deep into some property management. Okay. So This is really going to be for somebody who has a boutique brokerage that is looking to create multiple streams of income and has never dabbled in property management before. Or if you are a top producing agent and you anticipate getting your brokerage license and your brokerage business up and running this year, absolutely jump in. Or if you work for if you're an agent and maybe you just have a boutique brokerage that you hang your license with, but you'd like to do some property management instead of sales and look into that this year, and you've got a cooperative broker, you can absolutely set up an entire property management business with a little bit of cooperation from your broker, okay? Broker will be required to sign on your bank account, okay? That's one thing. And it will need to be under their umbrella as far as their broker license with DeBeeper. But you can set up a separate corporation that's with DeBeeper, not with MLS, right? Your broker will be on your bank account, but they understand it's yours, okay? Whatever you need to negotiate with your broker to work something out for their override, it'll be worth it. Build it. You'll have it if you decide to step out, okay? So those are some things to think about, you know. If you're going to do that, though, be very specific. I would recommend an exit strategy with your broker if you anticipate taking that business with you. So those are some things to think about, okay? But we're going to dive deep into property management, and also I'm going to do some Airbnb co-hosting as well. Now, Airbnb co-hosting is something you can absolutely do all by yourself, that you don't need any broker assistance for. You are not handling any money, okay? And it is outside of a broker license. You don't even need to be licensed to be an Airbnb co-host and make money with real estate, okay? So for $97, I promise you, you will come out of that workshop with another nugget to move your business forward this year, okay? And all of my workshops include a 1 hour one-on-one coaching session, okay? So that alone is worth the price of admission, because when we work together, we're working just like this. We're rolling up our sleeves, we're sharing screen, we're working together. Click here, click here, click here, click here. You know, whatever needs to be done to help you implement, all right? My goal this year is to help anyone who wants to implement things in their business. That's what I'm here for, okay? All right, so let me know if you have any questions, okay? If you want to join me on Monday for that property management workshop, jump in. Absolutely. We're going to start Monday. You see the posts going through the group. You can go ahead and jump on and get that taken care of. And like I said, you have a portal in my digital course. You have a private portal that is all your courses, all of your content. You can watch all of your replays. You can download the Kajabi app on your phone, and you can watch the replays on your phone and all of the course content. I upload all the PDFs, slide decks, everything that we talk about will be in there. And you're also in our alumni chat. So if you need support afterwards, absolutely, you have a private chat that you can ask questions in. Okay? All right. So join me Monday. Let me know if you have any questions. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.